Hey, what up, dudes? Bro, sorry. Gotta figure all this out. Row orientation. There we go. All right, boys, dudes, what up, guys? Hold on. Cancel. It says my orientation is locked, but we're going sideways. Go sideways. Go sideways. Is this sideways, guys? What's up with this? Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. What the heck? What's up, dudes? All right, I don't know what's going on with this thing. This is kind of weird. I'm sorry. This is not supposed to be clunky. This is supposed to be super smooth, super awesome. But nope, that's not it either, is it? All right, hold on. All right, so that's good orientation. So it says orientation is locked. Rotate device back. So that's so weird. All right, I usually don't do these vertical. I usually do them horizontal. So does that work out for you guys? Sorry about that. That's kind of a rip in the chat, F in the chat on that one. So there's freaking 20 of you guys here. That's insane. So my plan for today is to go for about an hour, answer as many questions as you guys got for me because I'm hyped. I'm hyped to answer some of your guys' question. I've had a crazy day, pretty sick day though. Pretty good day. So let me know if you guys can hear me. Make sure that the headphones is all good. If they're like super scratchy or anything, holler. Let me know. And I'm trying to be able to pull this up on my computer so I can chat with you guys here. And then over here, I can have, all right, there we go. Let me fix that a little bit. All right, guys. So this is awesome. Try to figure this out. I don't know what's going on, man. So usually I just have it sideways, but for some reason the phone doesn't want me to do that. But you know what? It doesn't matter because we're going to make it happen anyways. And so yeah, things are pretty awesome. Got to go snowboard today. Went to Winter Park. Actually, got to go check out some new boards. Got to go ride and make a new video. I'm actually hyped. It's not gonna be this week. So this week's video for YouTube on Friday. So in a couple days, I'm gonna post a how to go fast and stay in control video, which I think is gonna be super useful for people of like thought processes on how to go fast, how do you slow down, how do you stay in control. What are my kind of thoughts on that? And then next week, so not this Friday, next Friday, I'm gonna drop a video on how how to hit side hits and like create freestyle outside of the park and take kind of the what you have from the park and bring it into the like all mountain because sometimes like the parks are dope and sometimes the parks are not, but can you still like learn tricks outside of the park? So that's kind of what the plan is. So this week's video, speed with control. Next week's video, how to like get Super Sendy out of the park. Don't know the title of it yet, but super hyped on that. So that was pretty cool. So we got freaking L Stackers out here. What up, dog? Appreciate you coming out. He was here 40 minutes early, so I appreciate that. And then NGen is up here too. What up, dog? So NGen ended up seeing was on my premiere last Friday, and I ended up having to like deal with the situation. And then so NGen, thank you so much for the dono last week because I remember that. That was fire, dude. I do appreciate that. And then got Stefan in here. Carrie, what up? We got R Star, dude. You guys are always out here. So if any of you guys want, so I'm gonna answer as many questions as I can in the next hour. Like that's what we're shooting for is the next hour. So if you guys want to like cut the line and get your questions answered first, then you can just drop a super chat, and I prioritize those first, and then that also any of the donations goes towards like I went to Winter Park today to create a video, so being able to pay for gas and all that stuff. So any of those donations really is just going back to you guys and creating more content. So all that stuff is super appreciated. But let's get into some questions. Like, let's go, right? Why not? There's quite a few of you guys here already, which is super sick. All right, so I'm gonna start from the top. I'm gonna work my way down. You want to cut the line? You know what to do. All right, so Carrie says, still having problem getting down low. I feel like I'm bending my knees, but in the video I'm not. So a couple things that you may want to actually work on is how much flexibility do you have in your ankles? Now, this is kind of a weird thing. If you want, Carrie, hit me up on Instagram. I have a video that I posted in September. So I don't expect you to go back that far, but I posted a video in September about doing squats. So essentially, if this is your foot and this is your shin bone and you don't have a lot of flexibility from your ankle and like your shin, essentially your shin stays relatively vertical, then your bum or your tailbone, let's say, doesn't isn't as able to flex down. So your knees can only flex so much, and then you have to resort going to the next joint higher, which is going to be your hips. And so then you kind of just flex at the hips. So if you watch some like power, more like a really good person who can squat and who has range of motion, you're actually going to get your ankles to flex a lot. Now, as my ankles or shin flexes forward, now imagine this is my femur. My femur is able to also match that, and then I'm able to like create a lower angle because my ankle here is creating more flex. If this ankle is here, then I can only go so far. But notice if I do that, it kind of just changes the ankle. So if you have issues with getting low, maybe you need to work on your ankle flexibility outside of snowboarding. Uh, my fiance, girlfriend, wife, I don't know. She says I have like crazy ankle flexibility, which allows me to get low, which helps me absorb terrain better. So that's something that may end up being kind of the issue. So I would like to help you out on that. So DM me on that, and I can be able to show you the post that I made for sure. Yeah, Chuck just said ankles make angles. It's actually true though. It's actually a big deal. And then we got freaking Stefan out here coming in hot, dude. Is the mechanics of a hot garbage pressing back foot and lifting the front foot simultaneously? I feel like I did this maneuver and it worked, but I was not sure if it's proper form. So yeah, the hot garbage is kind of like that movement. So lifting up the front, lifting up the back foot, lifting up the front foot. So what I want you to do is actually, if you can, would be super helpful, is send me the video, and then what we can do is I'll find the hot garbage video and then compare it, both of them together, and then I'll be able to tell you what you need to do to more look like that other video. It's gonna be really hard for me to explain what's going on if I don't see what's going on with your form or with what you're doing. Can you DM me? Obviously, like DM me, tell me you're from this live stream, and I want to be able to find that trick. And then if you have a video of it, if you don't, I'll still find that trick. DM me and I'll find that trick, and then I'll explain it to you so that I can give you my 2 cents on how to do that. But once I see it, I'll be able to give you like the contrast of yours and the other one. So if you could do that for me, that would be freaking insane. So and R-Star, totally cool that you can't stay long, dude. I just appreciate you being out here. But Stefan with the $10 dono, dude, that's insane. I appreciate the support, dude. Let's go. So let's do that, dude. Send me a clip. Let's make it happen, and we'll get it going. All right, so scrolling back up to the top, Stefan says, I took Ryan Neptun's advice once I bend my knees 500%, and it really gets me to use the bending me knees far enough. Yeah, so I wonder, like, kind of going back to that, like, conversation is being able to work on your ankle flexibility. Dude, you guys are going crazy already, dude. I love this. So, Carrie says, thanks, Tommy. Carrie, can you, yeah, hit me up on Instagram, and I want to send you this post, and then I have another post idea that I want you to see so that we can compare, and then I might have you do a couple exercises that you can show me if you have ankle flexibility problems or not. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're killing it with the ankles, and we got to work on something else. But I think that could be it. If you're unable just to sink your belly button down, that there's got to be something else going on, and so we could definitely figure it out together. So thanks for the $6 dono, dude. That's sick. I appreciate it. And she says, thanks, Tommy. And I'm saying thank you. All right, then we got is that Aaron? Aaron, like we're airing on to a feature. That oh wait, Aaron on snowboards. Actually, that's kind of gangster name. I've been in Vermont for 3 days. Now I understand why they say the ice coast. Dude, actually kind of crazy yet. Right? So the ice coast, I used to compete in the US Open like back in the day, and I would go to Stratton, Vermont, and it was really crazy because we had some like incredible snow and some really good weathers, and I didn't really understand what that meant. And then the next year I came back and it was a completely different experience where it was like almost like it rained and then somebody just decided to like turn the temperature down and freeze it up real quick. And then all of a sudden you're like, yo, dude, what the heck? So if you have like sharp edges, that obviously helps. It may hinder you on some rails, but sharp edges creates more friction. And when you have friction on the ice, you're able to actually get more grip. So that's definitely what I would say when it comes to that. Getting some sharp edges, super helpful. And then thanks for the $5 dono, dude. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, dude. That's insane. Where are you riding at on the East Coast? I know I haven't been out there in a while, dude. It's been a minute for sure. I definitely want to go again. It would be fun. Probably not this season just because things are a little hectic, but definitely in the future, that'd be dope. All right, so Spade723 says, Tommy, every time I go for a 180 or a 360, my body never comes around for the full reason, a rotation probably, and I feel like I'm putting it all into my spin. All right, so like that's definitely like definitely a big thing. So are you popping? So I was actually talking to one of my athletes yesterday on the chairlift about this. We compared some of his videos from last year and to another video, and essentially he was just so focused on spinning that he actually never gave himself enough time to get up in the air to actually do the trick. So if you were able to get low and be able to pop, you're going to get more loft. If you watch like pro snowboarders at the US Open, the X Games, whatever it is, they actually get low and then they explode off the takeoff with their legs, and then their shoulders throw. So they're trying to maximize hang time, which gives them time to get the rotation around, which that may be it. And then also one thing that I would love to see is, like, are you winding up? So if you were there with like a baseball bat, let's say, and you're trying to hit a home run, but you're not winding up, you're just sitting here gonna bunt the ball, then you're not gonna be able to swing a home run unless you swing a home run. So I wonder if you're winding up. And now here's the thing, like for anybody that's trying to do spins and stuff, if my shoulders point straight here, like straight down towards the jump, and I rotate my shoulders more specifically, if I'm just rotating my hands, I'm not actually creating power with my hand. What you want to do is take your shoulder and rotate through your spine so that you're rotating your entire spine, and that's going to give you more power. So, not just doing this, actually rotating your shoulder. So, just a couple things that I've noticed because people will send me some videos and they'll be like, hey, I'm not getting enough rotation, and there's not actually enough wind up, but they feel like they're doing it because their shoulder or their arm moves, not their shoulders specifically through the spine. So hope that helps. Let me know if that helps, my dude. And then we got some freaking donos, of course. We got Melissa in the house. What's up, Melissa? Tomorrow is cert time day. Pray for me. LOL. Pizza fun. Hashtag. Uh. Okay, so that's super sick. You're gonna go for cert. That's so exciting. All right, couple things that I want you to do for me, Melissa. First thing is have fun and put yourself in a position where you can enjoy the day, because when you're enjoying the day and you're happy, your body tends to be in a more like better ability to absorb terrain and ride and do stuff. If you're super tense and nervous, then you're going to be very stiff and it's going to actually show in your riding. But when you do the certification, it's also, yeah, can you be in a relaxed state? You're going to snowboard better. If it's like the best, most fun day, socialize with people, and I know this because I've done a whole bunch of certifications, and I know that if I'm enjoying my time out there, then I feel like I'm feel better. So that's like the first thing. The next thing is get a lot of sleep. That's really important. And then the third thing is just make sure that you're engaged with the content, because at the end of the cert, there's gonna be a test, mellow test. They just want to see, did you consume the information? And it's just, do you understand the concepts? You don't need to know the vocabulary super gnarly well. You just got to understand the concepts. And the last thing is dress warm. It's gotta be cold. Toe warmers, by the way, guys, toe warmers not on the bottom of your feet. If you actually put your toe warmers on top of your feet, it helps the blood circulate better and your toes stay way warmer. And then every time you do a heel side turn, it feels amazing because your toes touch up top and you're like, whoo. So there's a couple things, but thanks you so much for the pizza fun, Melissa. Hyped on that one. That's sick. And then Aaron Snowboards, such a sick name. Remember, I have a Burton process and asked about a new board. I demoed the Yes Jackpot. I'm demoing the Yes Jackpot tomorrow. I am at Mount Snow, gonna film for JB next week. Oh, he actually told me about this. So JB and I spent the whole day hanging out together. It was super dope. But that's actually going to be sick, because if you can demo the board and see if you love it before you invest all that money, and then see if you can buy that board and then flip your other one. Craigslist, I've had a lot of success on that. eBay, I haven't done as much, honestly. But thank you so much for the $5 dono, and I'm excited that you're going to go hang out with Jonathan Buckhouse. He's the man. That's going to be super sick for you guys. And yeah, that's going to be sick for sure. For sure. All right, so I'm cruising back up, and I'm going to hit up some of these questions up top. If I miss any of your questions, make sure you just copy, paste, and pop it down below. But I am scooting back up to make sure that I don't miss anything. And L Stackers, thanks for being a mod, dude. That's so freaking sick. My first instinct, what's up, dog? Is your rotation in your phone locked? Dude, okay, so my first instinct, you're the man. You need to come snowboard and hang out because it's been like 17 years and I miss you. So on this whole vertical thing right now, I think because I started the stream, then tried to turn it, it was like, So that's kind of think I messed up. So I tried to spin it. I unlocked it. All that stuff's unlocked on like the actual iPhone. But I think it's because I started the stream vertical and YouTube's like, you're committed, dude. And I didn't want to end the chat. So RIP. Whoops. My bad on that one, dudes. Okay, so Melissa says, been at Copper last 2 days for snowboard cert. Let's go. It's going to be so sick. I'm excited. Are you doing that cert at Copper? Because that would be sick. And then Coglio knows. What's up, Tommy? What up, dog? Good to have you out here. Mr. Joel, what up? It says Tommy. Hey Tommy, what's up, dog? Let's see what else we got in here. Stefan says your recent videos are super helpful. Thank you, dude. That's sick. I'm super. That video that I posted on like how to hit jumps, I was actually really stoked to make that video. And what I'm stoked is that I can teach you how to hit a jump, but then also as like a bonus at the end there, I was able to give you a little bit more information, which is like, hey, here's your first grab. Like, here's a good idea. Here's how you do it. And I kind of like low key foreshadowed it in the beginning of the video. So if you guys haven't seen that how to hit a jump video, I talk about that. I talk about pop versus ollie. I talk about different tactics on how to actually get used to being in the air without being in the like terrain park your first time, and then setting you up for success to go in the terrain park so you can hit those jumps. So super hyped on that video. It's popping off right now. It's gotten like some crazy engagement and some attention, which I'm obviously like super hyped on that. And that's like so many people are gonna go use that like this weekend to actually get better. Sorry, I'm getting a couple text messages and a little distracting, but we're here. We're back. We're back. And then see Chuck Van, what up, dog? I see you commenting out here. JW8, yo, yo, yo. What up, dude? How are you doing? Roadster99. Hey, Tommy. What are the drawbacks on having a board that's kind of too big? How much will it affect my progression? Should I try to get a board that's more size for me, or should I just not care? There's a couple different thought processes on how big, like a board that's too big for you. Essentially, it depends how much bigger it is, and depends on what application you're trying to have. Because when it comes to a bigger board, it may make it really challenging to go from edge to edge really fast because it's a lot more material to move edge to edge. In addition to that, you may be able to rip some carves like super well. So that could be an advantage. Now, the disadvantage is if your body weight and your leverage for your height for leverage and your body size may make it really challenging to get the optimal performance out of that board. So it may hinder your progression. Now, it just depends on how big the board is. So I weigh like 135 pounds. I'm about 5'5", so I'm not a big dude, but I have rode like a 154, and I know that it was too big for me, and I felt those side effects of that it was not uh, bored through the pain. Peace out, dog. Thanks for coming out here. Going to bed. Ooh, let's go. Sorry. And we continue. So I was on a 154 board and I felt that it was slow edge to edge. I feel like I couldn't get that much performance out of it. So I would say, yeah, it definitely could hinder your ability. What I would suggest you do is go demo a board at like a one, whatever size you have, go a couple centimeters down, and then you want to base it on your height, but you also want to base it on your weight. So each snowboard has a weight range. Now, if I have a board that's like a 155 and it's rated for 150 to 200 pounds, let's just say, then obviously my weight will not get I don't have enough weight or leverage to get the optimal performance out of that board. Can I still snowboard? Of course, but am I getting the best performance? So then I actually ride a 149. That 149 to 151 range is like my happy place. If I go to 151, I don't notice a difference, to be honest. I really don't. And if I go to a 49, it's 2 centimeters, but I don't notice the difference. But if I'm going up like 3, 4, 5 centimeters, that's when it's like big deal. So that's kind of my 2 cents on that one is demo a board and notice the difference and see how much more playful or fun that smaller snowboard is. And then if you can buy a new snowboard, do that. And if you can flip your old one, that could be a good idea unless you're trying to save it, of course. I scroll back up, scroll on over here. Chuck says, oh, Chuck's talking to some other people in the chat. Chuck, what up, dog? Saying what up, saying what up. Bored through the pain. Yo, dudes, I stopped into the show to some love and I can't stay. It's late here and I need to wake up mega early for tomorrow and pack for your Colorado trip, dude. Dude, that's actually going to be super sick. Colorado trip, let's go. Colorado's super fun right now. You guys haven't been there. Gani says, hey, man, you're a killer on a snowboard. Dude, I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Any tips for people who know only that tips for people who can only go out a few weekends a winter, like 5 to 10 days, hoping there's certain things to always keep in mind. So essentially, when it comes to being able to snowboard, quite a few days, of course, but it's not a whole bunch of days. So a couple of things that I would suggest is anytime you can actually before you go snowboard, especially for snowboarding, or sorry, for like freestyle-esque stuff, what you wanna do is spend some time on a trampoline, spend some time in the gym doing like box jumps, agility work, and get your body to be athletic, like feel good, like feel like a rock star so that you're able to like move and groove. And that's definitely gonna like help translate into like some freestyle stuff. If you're spinning onto a box and spinning off and then doing like squats and feeling amazing, that definitely helps. But now when it comes to actually snowboarding, body positions are going to be your like biggest advantage. Now, a strong body position would be having your shoulders, hips, and your knees stacked over your board. Now, that body position, you don't want to be in that 100% of the time. So, for example, if my this is my lower body, this is my upper body, and I was trying to do a board slide and I did not, and I stayed in that position, that would actually hinder us because we would rotate on the board and then we wouldn't have the ability to come out our normal direction. We'd kind of just get locked in a board slide and then ride away in the landing at 90 degrees instead of like rotating wherever we want. So you want to be able to have that separation, but being able to distribute the weight between both feet is extremely helpful. If you can be in a strong stance position as you're riding down the run, let's say that you're doing a toe side turn. When I'm doing a toe side turn, I'm a regular rider, so I'm going down towards you guys. When I'm doing a toe side turn, my shoulder actually helps point in the direction I'm going. And then I do this thing called knee steering, which I have a couple videos on. So if you got any questions about that, I have a how to turn video, which talks about knee steering, and how to ride switch talks about knee steering. But I actually want my shoulders go in the direction I am traveling. Now the other thing is our natural instinct for us as snowboarders is I'm going towards you guys, but I want to rotate my shoulders like this because this is how I walk every single day. This is intuitive. This is natural to us. Now when I'm on a snowboard, imagine I'm trying to do a toe side turn. Well, my shoulders pointing that way, I want to go that way. And you can see that there's a contradiction in my body movement already. Where am I going? So normally something's got to give. Either I'm going that way or that way, but I want to work together. So if I'm trying to go that way, so is my shoulder. So body positions are going to be a huge advantage. So distributing the weight between both of your feet, pointing your shoulders in the direction you're going, and then also keeping your eyes up. Big deal. A lot of times when we're trying stuff new, especially in freestyle and 360s, 180s, we want to look down and look at our feet, but we want to be able to be in a position where we're confident and comfortable. We can actually bring our knees up and we're spotting our landing like almost all the time. So hope that helps. And we got Ebby coming in. What's up, dude? You said you're going to ride this weekend. That would be so sick. I'm at the gym, but I wanted to stop by and say hi. Let's go. Talking about squats. See, in the beginning of this video, we're talking about ankle movements and squats. So super useful stuff. And thanks for the $5 dono. I appreciate that. Hope you're going out riding with some friends this weekend. Should be super sick. I don't know how California is on snow this year. Anybody know? And you guys from California? I wonder if the snow is popping this year. Like Colorado's been kind of crazy because we've gotten a lot of snow, but not at all. It's interesting. Like we've had a lot of sunny, sick park days, which is obviously good for YouTube videos and good for Instagram content because it's sunny, it's sick, it's exciting. Not a lot of like sending crazy tricks into POW, but I don't care either way. I'm just like stoked to snowboard. So thanks for the $5 dono. I appreciate you stopping by. I'm going to go back up a little bit and be able to keep those questions going, my dudes. All right. Sometimes I get lost in the chat, but I think I figured it out. Oh, there we go. See, I figured it out, guys. Okay, so we had bored through the pain, saying some stuff. He's chatting with a buddy. I know you left, but what up, dog? R-Star coming in here. He says, I'm going snowboarding on Saturday. That's going to be so fun, dude. I hope it's so sick. Evie says, we had 20 inches overnight a couple weeks ago. That's sick. 20 inches overnight in California, like the Tahoe area, is actually like pretty normal, isn't it? It's like, oh, we just got 5 feet. It's like, yeah, that's normal. I'm like, 5 feet of snow is insane. Colorado, we don't really, we've got that like, we might have like a 15-inch pow day, and that's pretty dope for sure, but it's not like every single time, and we don't get like 3, 4, 5 feet like overnight. Like I don't really care either way. Just as long as we have snow to snowboard on, right? All right, then we see. Okay, Hackin says, "What are your top stretches before hitting the mountain?" Killing it out there, by the way. So, a couple of the stretches that I love to do. One of them is called the super couch stretch. It's a pretty aggressive, like quad stretch. So, like snowboarding is very quad dominant. So, I like to stretch my quads. I like to stretch a little bit of my calf, and then I like to stretch my posterior chain, which is going to be your hamstring, your glutes, and your lower back. Just stretching kind of like that. More honestly, my stretching is probably more like the hip area and some of the stuff above the hip and below the hip. I'll do just some like squats in place and I'll sit in a deep squat and then like roll over my ankles a bit as well. So just really loosening up my hips, and the reason why I like to do that is because I absorb terrain. It's like as I'm like jumping off something, I want to be able to absorb that terrain. So I want to test and see how tight my body is in those positions. So if I'm sending it cold, like out of the gate, like I don't know how I'm going to respond to that. And then if I'm responding well, then I can go kind of out of the gate first thing in the morning with bigger tricks. If I'm feeling a little sluggish and stuff, then I just choose appropriate tricks, maybe straight airs and side hits with straight airs and grabs versus like trying to do like, threes and fives. So that's definitely what I do as far as like stretching and foam rolling. I don't do it as much as I should, but foam rolling is super sick. For anybody that hasn't foam rolled, it's sick. And then Melissa, you were saying, I know we talked about your certification. I forget. Did you say that it was Melissa, was it in copper or not? I think I'm gonna be riding copper the next couple days. Okay. What else we got here? Yeah, Melissa says it's gonna be 11 degrees out. Russ says I'm an ice coaster too. Just saw Mount Snow had $17 lift tickets on 3-17, dude. Dude, let's go. That sounds actually pretty freaking phenomenal. Okay, bored through the pain. Is there anyone going to DMQ snowboard only event? Whole mountain, no skiers are allowed all day, dude. I've actually never heard of that. That actually sounds crazy. I wish I could go. It sounds fun. Do sounds pretty dope. Coglio knows. So Tommy, having one of the worst winters ever, no snow anywhere. What's a great way to practice on my board away from the mountain? Been spending a lot of time doing ones and threes and ollies on flat grounds at home. Yeah, I would say you guys might think I'm dyslexic, so I read that backwards, but I just read funny sometimes. He said ollies at home, flat ground, question mark, not the other way. Whatever. So yeah, I would practice nose press, tail press. I would practice winding up for both front side and back side, and then 180s and 360s. But dude, you can also do wind ups, 180s and 360s switch. So what I like to do is I like to designate a portion of my room or whatever I'm at as a downhill. So like let's say for example, if I were to do tricks right now, you guys would be downhill. So then I'm going to be practicing my 180s towards you guys with my eyes looking downhill as if it's snowboarding. It's so easy for us to get our eyes locked on the ground. Then it doesn't really represent it snowboarding as much. So shoulder down the hill. Now when it goes to switch, I'm still looking in the same location. I haven't just switched my shoulder. Now that's going to be switch. So I would do that. So nose press, tail press, front side 180s, back side 180s, front side threes, back side threes. Obviously threes start to get super hard, but then you could also do switch tail press, switch nose press. Can you do 180 to nose press, 180 to tail press, switch 180 tail press, switch 180 nose press? Like there's so many different combinations, but it is obviously about just trying to experiment with all of those. But yeah, so those are definitely some ideas for sure. And then Kaz, what's up? I think thanks for the explanation. Thought it was for me. Kaz, did I miss a question? If I missed one of your questions, just make sure you copy and then pop it down below so that I know. Because I swear I didn't miss yours because I know that you comment all the time. So I recognize the name. So I feel like I would have seen that before. And then Mike says, "Hi, Tommy. Love your videos. Super helpful. Thanks, dude. I appreciate you. Felt like it was hard to tail press when I was riding. Is there any suggestions?" Yeah, when you're riding, okay, so when you're riding, what I would definitely say is there's your board naturally is going to be sliding on the snow, so you don't create as much resistance, which makes tail presses super hard. So what you want to do is make sure your belly button is be like stacked behind, like between your back binding and the tail of your board. So make sure your body is actually shifted towards the tail. And then something I've been working on. So one of the hardest things that you can do on like a tail press is be able to land. Okay, like trying to. Ooh, how does this match? It's like almost matches though. So if you're trying to tail press, this is the rail. This is the snowboard. When you're trying to tail press, one of the hardest things is as you land, your momentum naturally wants to tap, and then you bring it back up. Ideally, you don't do that. Ideally, you hop in and you tail press the whole entire time. So one thing that's going to help you a lot is retract your lead foot. So as you land in a tail press, you're actually trying to bring the board up a little bit more, so you counter that. But in general, if you can lean back and take your lead foot and retract it, so bring your lead foot towards the center mass of your belly button, and then you're going to get a little bit more flex out of it. So let me know if that helps, my dude. And then with KVA out here, what up? Good luck. KVA says, Melissa, good luck on the cert, which is going to be sick. Okay, Bruce says, "Hey Tommy, I like your style." Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Have a question about riding powder. So, if I ride a volume shifted board, do I still need to mount my bindings all the way towards the tail? Good question. I don't know much about volume shifted, which I'm assuming that most of it's weighting towards the back, kind of like a boat. So then the boat naturally has more weight back here, which is going to do this. So I would say in general, if the design of the board is to actually be a bowl, like a powder board, I would say no, because the board itself is trying to like allow the nose of the board to be upright. Also, if you have a reverse camber board or a hybrid board with a reverse camber at the tip, essentially it's going to be like a boat again. The board is naturally trying to be like this, so it's lighter in front and heavier in back if it's volume shifted, and then it just wants this part to float in pow. If you have a camber board, it's actually kind of a sick snowboard, right? If you have a camber board, notice how this part always wants to point down, or if a reverse camber board wants to point up. So volume shifted and reverse camber is going to help a lot. I'm going to say no, but try it and see how it feels. If you feel like your nose is diving, then shift your bindings back. If you feel like you're rocking it, I think you're going to be fine. So is it a PAL specific board? If it's a PAL specific board, I think you're going to be fine, my dude. Okay, Ryan, no, dude. Okay, he says, I separated my shoulder grade 3 a week ago snowboarding. Doc said 6 to 8 weeks to recover. How long should I wait before I go snowboard again? So, what I would do, so if it's 6 to 8 weeks recovery, I would suggest doing like the 8 weeks. But honestly, I would ask your doctor, like, yo, what up, dude? And then be like, "What is my time snowboarding?" Because they were gonna give you a good answer. So I have an athlete right now who hurt his shoulder and he has like range of motion, but he can't afford to fall on it because if he falls on it, then he's ruining his surgery, as well as you just wasted a bunch of time because he's gonna have to get another surgery. So he's waiting as long as possible so that he doesn't ruin the rest of his season. So we're trying to go out and like snowboard together for like a month in the summer, which I'm super hyped on. So I would definitely say like if you could do like that 8 weeks to make sure you're 100% good, that's like how I would do it. Because then if you did 8 weeks, you could afford to take a small fall. At 6 weeks, you might not be able to afford to take a small fall. And it doesn't even mean you're going ham. Somebody could run into you, you could slip on ice, whatever, whatever. So that's what I would suggest. But also, like, hit up your doctor, be like, okay, should I, if I had 6 weeks, can I be like 100%? Like 6 weeks, 100%, or 8 weeks, 100%? So hit up your boy, see what he says. That's my thought. Happy Pain Snowboard says, "What's a nice board for rails and jumps that's on the softer side?" So I actually wrote a Tellus board today that is called a blunt. It's like a reverse camber board, which is actually kind of a little stiff, which I liked because it gave a bit more like stableness. So if I were to hit a jump, if I were to hit side jumps and do that kind of stuff, it actually felt really strong underneath my feet. But then it also had the playfulness being reverse camber board. So that was pretty sick. Another good one is the Solomon Huck Knife. Dude, it's popping off. That's a super popular board right now. So obviously people are digging it. So I would check that out as well. But yeah, my thoughts on that one. Okay, Samuel says, snowboard instructor here in Wisconsin. What's up, dude? That's sick. Love your tips. I ride a 151 and I'm 5'8", 155 pounds. All right. So obviously with that, you were able to like really maneuver that snowboard and get a lot of power out of it. So I do instruct quite a bit as well. Instructing is super fun. Yeah, instructing is sick. I did a whole bunch of like certifications back in, not that long ago, but a little bit ago, did a bunch of certification stuff. So it's fun, man. Instructing is super sick. Snow Bear, love how you spelled that one. Have you ever broken a bone? Actually, yeah. How long did it take to recover? Just asking because I currently have a broken collarbone. I'm so sorry about that. So, truth be told, and I know we've gotten a lot of new subscribers, a lot of new people on Instagram and stuff. I actually broke my back snowboarding when I was 17. So at that time, like I had like 900s. I was struggling with front sevens. Like I was a decent snowboarder for sure. But then I ended up breaking my back. I broke it in 3 places, and it wasn't the physical pain of breaking my back that was the struggle for me. Honestly, it was the mental side of it. I was terrified to hit a 5 foot jump. I was terrified to do anything on a snowboard because my mind thought everything I did was dangerous. So it didn't trust me anymore, which was kind of a thing. So nowadays, I'm actually 10, whatever. I mean, it's been 13 years, 14, 15 years since I broke my back. I still deal with back pain, which is kind of a bummer, but I'm a better snowboarder I am now than I was, like, back in the day. So you definitely can come over the injuries. I've also broken my wrist. I had wrist surgery. You guys can't really see it. I have, like, a Z. Oh, yeah, you kinda see it there. I had wrist surgery there, and I can't move my wrist that much, and then compared to this one, that's, like, normal. That one's not. So, actually, in today's Instagram post, kinda crazy, I did a cartwheel over this, like, little snow thing, and I don't put my hands like this. I put my fist down, and then that's how I cartwheel is on my fist. And I handstand walk, not great, but I handstand walk on a fist as well. So definitely have broken some bones. And then I've never broken my collarbone, knock on wood on that one, because that sucks. I'm sorry to hear about that, but I've heard collarbones actually recover really fast. I've had a couple athletes break collarbones. Now let's see. So I broke this wrist had surgery. I broke this wrist twice, and then broke my kneecap skating. Yeah, trying to think what else. Had a couple injuries for sure. And I would just say, like, follow the doctor's instructions, and when you do like, when they tell you to come back, just be progressive with your thought process. If I'm trying to hit a 50-foot jump first day, well, my body may not be in the mental state or the skill to be able to do that. So, I would also say, like, start on a 5-foot jump, then go to a 10, 15, 20, just, build your confidence back up, and then you'll be rocking it, and that's really what I needed to do with all my injuries, was that I needed to build my confidence in addition, my skills. The more skills I had, the more confidence I had. The more confidence I had, the more I can like build skills. So kind of a little double-edged thing there. And then Melissa says she just bought a split board. I actually really want a split board. The only thing about buying a split board that terrifies me is like in Colorado, the avalanches are super gnarly and super dangerous. And that's like not what I want to get into, to be honest. Okay, let's see. And like I said, if I miss any of your guys' question, my bad. If I miss any of your questions, my bad, but make sure you pop them in down below so I don't miss them. Like copy and paste them, like pop them back down below. But I've scooted back up, trying to make sure I don't miss too much. Okay, Melissa says she bought the Jones Solution, which is a sick board. Happy Pain Snowboard says, what are the workouts? What are workouts to get more speed and more spin power? More power slash spin on stuff. So I would say like a lot of core, which means like a lot of rotational stuff. So if you're able to do a lot of Russian twists, if you can do like cable and be able to do Russian, like standing Russian twists, essentially is kind of what I'm thinking about. And then a lot of knee tuck up. So if you can hang from a bar and bring your knees up in front of you, so a lot of core and then a lot of squats. So the squats are going to help you create vertical gain, which is like popping or alling. And then your core and your shoulders and your midsection, your spine is going to help with the rotation. So the more rotational stuff you can do with resistance, the better that's going to be because you're going to be killing it. Like, you get your core start, wow, it's gonna be sick, dude. It's gonna be sick. Uh, Board Archive just messaged me on Instagram, and I'm like, hey, that guy's sick. He's killing it. I don't know if do you guys watch that guy's stuff? He's sick for sure. Him, like, there's so many like dudes out there that are super sick. Like Ryan Napton, that dude's like super sick. And then just like the whole YouTube community is actually pretty cool. I'm pretty hyped on those cats for sure. Aaron on Snow. I do every time I say that, I think it's so sick. Anybody here doing any Colorado trips in March? I was at Breckenridge back in December, but I need another trip to Colorado or Salt Lake. Yeah, anybody out in Colorado in March, dude? March is like spring break. Usually we get a lot of snow then, and it's pretty dope. Okay, what else we got? Tyler says, smash that like button, dude. That's appreciate you. Okay, and then Mr. Joel says, let's see, what is the best place to do a backside 360? So it depends on your skill level. If you're trying to learn a backside 360, actually, I have a how to 360 video came out 3 weeks ago, and I break down 360s like a lot, like super sick. But another thing that you can do is do them on side hits. Now, when you're riding down the terrain, like down the run, there's natural like little highway hits, essentially like side hits. And sometimes if you're riding down the train and the trees are over here and trees are over here, the natural way is that the jump is going to go away from the trees on either side. And if you're a regular or goofy rider, you can find one that helps you with each side, and then you can do a spin. But what's nice about those side hits that already have a turn, it's helping you turn, and then it's already helping you create some rotation, and then you got to like kind of feel the flow for it. So I would definitely do it on that. And then if you're a boss, doing back threes on rails are sick, which I have not figured out yet. They scare me. Like I can backside 360, but doing it on a rail just blows my mind. Okay, then Melissa says Coppers Park looks like a lot of fun. Sounds like you're doing your cert one or cert at Winter Park. They seem to do an awesome job with building their parks. Do Coppers on one, man. What I really like about Copper right now is you go to Copper and from the top of the run, you go right into small features. So even if you're an advanced rider, you have to go ride through beginner, like not intimidating. It's not like all the riders are mean or anything, but it's like you get to ride through these basic rails and easy progressive rails. So if you're an advanced rider, what's sick is I have my kids ride switch and we'll do switch tricks on all that stuff. And then as you're riding down, you get to practice that stuff. But if you're a new rider, you're forced to ride like appropriate terrain for your style, which is sick. And then the more you progress down the run, the bigger the features are. So it's like a logical progression, which is super sick. They've done an incredible job. And then they have a bunch of natural slash like not natural features, but like snow built features. And they're not necessarily rails, but snow built, which is actually super sick, which is dope. And then what else we got? Andy says, love your tutorials. They inspire me to up my riding. Let's go, dude. I'm hyped. Yeah, dude, I've been posting like Instagram content for like 5 months every single day for 5 months. And then like I did like a little story. I was like, should I start a YouTube channel? And I got a lot of like positive response. I was like, all right, committed to that, and now we're here. It's pretty crazy what how like what has happened in the last 6 months. It's pretty wild. Snow Bear says one way to practice snowboarding at house is using a ripstick. The movement is very similar to carving. Yeah, actually, ripsticks are really good for your ankle flexion and extension, being able to move your ankles in opposition at the same time. And a lot of snowboarding actually uses your ankles. And so the more you can develop your ankle awareness slash strength is actually pretty dope. I've done it a few times. I'm terrible at it. Liz A. Liza Z in town. I'm probably butchering that. My bad. Okay, how do you overcome the fear of learning a new trick? I feel like I've hit a wall on progressing because I'm afraid of getting hurt. Oh, that's like honestly, that is literally what snowboarding is. Whether you're like the top level athlete, let's say you're like some gnarly snowboard pro competing and all that. Well, those dudes are also learning a new trick. Those dudes are also progressing in in their own aspect, right? Now it's going like instead of a double backflip, it's a triple or quad, whatever it is. Like those dudes are still having to face that same fear. Now, I have like a couple things I'm gonna say. The first thing is, do you have the skills to be doing what you're doing? That's the first thing. If you're like trying to learn a new trick, and me personally trying to learn like this crazy backflip, let's say, but I've never done a backflip on a trampoline or I've never even gone inverted, then can I develop the skills and take the right steps to even do a backflip somewhere else to bring that to snow? That's how my mind works, is how do I develop skills to achieve what I want to achieve? Now, being able to understand where you're at and then how do you get there obviously is like why I coach and why I'm trying to help you guys. So that's like the first thing is, do you have the skills to be able to do what you're doing? And then in addition to that, have you taken the appropriate steps? So if I try to do a double backflip and I've taken 10 steps to get there, which means I went to a trampoline facility and did a backflip, and then I put a board on my feet and I did another backflip, and I did a backflip into POW, and then I did double backflip in a trampoline. I take all these steps, right? Now, by the time I get there, I feel prepared because I've done everything I needed to do to develop the skill, and I have the experience of what it's like to backflip, to over rotate, to under rotate. I know the feeling. I know what I'm looking for. I know how hard to throw. I know how hard not to throw it. I know where I'm spotting the landing. I know what to do with my knees. I know what to do with my eyes, my shoulders. All those things are being figured out through the process of getting there. So do you have all those things done when it comes to like doing it? So that's like a big thing, is like, can you do that? And then at sometimes there's going to be a point where you have all those things checked off. You're going to have to do it, but can you do it in a safe way? If I'm learning a double backflip, I'm going to do it into a POW jump or a POW landing. So if I land on my head and I totally mess it up, I'm relatively safe. I might get freaking cold, but I've taken the precautionary steps. Like I get the courage, I chuck a double backflip, but then I I'm not I don't have the crazy consequences, which gives me the confidence that I can do it because it's not crazy consequences. Even if I get like don't do it right, I'm still gonna be fine. So like those are all things that come into consideration when coming over fear. So what I want you to do is on my YouTube down quite a few videos. I have how to manage fear for snowboarding. That's a big one. And then I don't know if all you guys know about this, but I back in kind of down in the videos, I did some interviews with pro athletes. So I have a couple friends that are on the US team, and I did interviews with them, and I was like, how do you manage fear? What scares you? How do you learn a new trick? How do you overcome that? So instead of all hearing it just from me, you can check out these. They're more podcasts. They're like 35 to 45 minutes. And I ask them a bunch of legit questions, more podcast oriented style. And they're able to answer that. Like one kid's Chase Blackwell made it to the finals of X Games this year in pipe. Like literally, he's like pro snowboarder, killing it. And I interviewed him on questions like that, like how do you manage fear? Like you ride half pipe, like how do you handle performance? So go scope that out. I know, tangent. I got real long winded on that one. Any advice for a girl going to the mountain for the first time alone? 100%. What I would recommend, and I hope you're still here to listen to this. What I would recommend, was it Annette? What I would recommend is hire a instructor. What's sick about that is it's safe in terms of like every instructor, like at least Vail Resorts, are all background checks. So you know that like you're gonna go with some safe people, right? They're background checked. That's a comfort thing. Next, they're a professional and they know what they're doing, so they can teach you how to snowboard and they expedite the process, which is even better because I don't want you to spend the whole time just falling over and not having a sick time, but you could have somebody do that. So it's like literally well worth the money to do it and have an instructor help you out. And then make sure you check the weather and dress appropriate. The last thing you want to do is miserably cold, like be miserably cold, which would not be sick. Let's see, Stefina says Romania. I think I missed the conversation that y'all had. So I'm jumping in, awkward. And then Kaz says no is on the video screen. I'm not sure what. Oh, okay. And then Annette says Lee Canyon is the closest to me. Super intimidated being such a beginner. Yeah, Annette, dude, hire an instructor. It's like literally a game changer. Like it's such a big deal. It's such a big deal just to like have somebody that you can trust and know. Pretty fire. And then Lewis M says, what is the progression to doing jump tricks? I am supposed to be learning this at some off-season training center or YOLO. It is at the slopes after watching some of your tours. So what I would definitely suggest if you're trying to learn like frontside 180s or backside 180s is finding side hits that you can actually like take kind of big. So if I was trying to like a backside 360, I would like trying to find something that's a little bit bigger than I'm used to and trying to find that. But more importantly is find features in the park that are at your level. A lot of times that you can do, like a lot of times when you're trying to do a back three, you can try back three on like a 3 foot jump. In my YouTube video on how to hit jumps, there's literally jumps with no like consequences. If you catch an edge, there's a consequence because it's ground, but it's literally like a lip that's like a foot off the ground and then it just rolls for a long time. So I would like do that is like take it to an appropriate park feature. And then hit the 5 foot jump, hit the 10 foot, 30, 40, or like progress your way up from there. Okay, Melissa says, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Melissa's having another chat, which I am super hyped on. George says, any tips from moving from 180 to 360s backside specifically? Yeah, when it comes to backside, I definitely recommend doing 3 big things. You want to take your shoulder, you want to wind up, and you have to actually throw it. If you throw it, you're going to, depending on how much air time you actually get, but you want to be able to throw your shoulder hard enough to get the full rotation around. The next thing that you got to do after you knocking things over out here, the next thing you got to do when it comes to doing a backside 360 is take your lead shoulder. You're going to throw it. And then my first movement is getting my eyes to look over here. Now, what's sick about that is as my eyes look over here, the rest of my body can follow along the way. So first things first, you want to make sure that you throw your shoulder or wind up, throw your shoulder. Next thing you want to do is make sure you look where you're going. And then the last thing you want to do is make sure your knees are up. And those things are going to help a lot. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here. We got Leo C coming in hot with the $5 dono. And he says, choo choo. Dude, I appreciate that, man. Coming in hot. That's going to be a whole lot of pizza for the boys, which is going to be sick. Oh, yeah, we going in ham with the pizza emojis, boys, and tacos. I'm not a big fan of Taco Bell, but I'm a big fan of pizza. Uh, Big fan of pizza. Stefina says, I hope I'm saying your name right. Tommy, I would love to have you as my snowboard instructor, but I live so far away from the US. I love your aggressive style. Hey, I appreciate that. That's sick. I do have an online snowboard course if any of you guys are interested in that. It is not Yeah, it is. Actually, it's linked in the bio, which is super sick. Also, as another sick thing, I have a freebie. If you guys are looking for like what tricks to do next, I have a free PDF Essentially, you just sign up for this email list thing that I have, and then you get a PDF, and then you can screenshot it, you can keep it, and you can print it, whatever you need to do. So I have those two resources. So I do have an online snowboard course where I break down a whole bunch of stuff. And I actually had somebody hit me up today and said that they landed their first 360 frontside and backside because of it, which I'm super hyped on. And then the free PDF, free stuff, which is always fun. So that's actually in the description because I remember this time. And then I have Killing It hoodies. I have these. I have this also in white. So it's like white text and blue hoodie, which is kind of sick. And then if you guys are looking for hoodies, I'll definitely scope that out. That is going to be in the description as well. And yeah, these things are actually kind of sick. I actually sleep in hoodies now. It's probably not that sick, but I do. Okay. Alrighty, what else we got? Melissa in the chat. Dude, Melissa's coming in heavy today. Come to Breckenridge. I will ride with you all. Melissa says, come to Breckenridge and that I'll ride with you. That would actually be super sick. And then our Ryan C says, dope. Thanks, Tommy, for the advice. Got you. Stop reading this. But then I can't stop reading this if you tell me to, like, if I'm supposed to read this. Gamer moment, LOL. And then MC Master says, hey, Tommy, I've been watching a bunch of your videos, including the Switch video. I have tried it, but it just takes so long to practice and learn. I'm limited on time to snowboard. What should I do? Is there any way you can practice that at home and do that mirror image of? That's going to be the first thing. And visualization exercises. Can you watch that video? Actually, watch those how to turn is a really good one, and how to ride switch video, really good one. Without your snowboard on, can you stand there, close your, listen to what I'm saying, or watch that video and then close your eyes and then lean forward and then and then lean forward and try to mimic those movements without it snow. But then if you're just not getting a lot of days on hill, man, if you could just get there early, get there late, uh, you can, yeah, that's what I would definitely suggest. And then Leo C says, I really want that PDF. No Instagram. Need the link. It's in the link in the description of this video, my dude. Let me double check. Okay, it says, lost on what tricks to learn next. Check out this free guide. And then it has a link of Premier Snow Academy / guide. So Leo, I got you. So I've talked about this a few times and I keep forgetting, but it's in the description of this chat because I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea how I remembered. I was just like, hey, don't forget it, boys. All right, so hope that helps, dude. Thanks for the $2 dono. You guys are insane. And then Stephen says, Tommy Bennett, Tommy, meet and greet in Denver with everyone soon. So me, Jonathan Buckhouse, and the Ski Doctor actually did a meet and greet in Denver in November. And that was actually super fun because I got to meet a couple of you cats that watched the video. But I think we're going to do one more in March or April because Jonathan's gone for this entire month. Rip. But then if we could do something like that and come out and meet you guys, and yeah, would you guys be interested in a meet and greet? So essentially what we do is the Ski Doctor can wax your snowboards and stuff, and then you guys come out and just meet Jonathan Buckhouse, meet me, and we just chat, we just hang out. Obviously we're not snowboarding, but if we could just chat, hang out, put out some vibes and just talk snowboarding, then would you guys be into that? Let me know if you guys would be into that meet and greet in Denver. Obviously, you guys are not in Denver. I don't know. But if we're in Denver, that would be super sick. And then Leo C says, thank you with the $2 dono. No worries, dude. I appreciate that. And then, yeah, let me know what you think of that. Let me know what you would think of that PDF. I think it looks pretty sick, but obviously I'm biased because I made it. So I think it's dope, but I don't know. I don't care. All right, guys, we're going to be going for a couple minutes longer. Then I'm going to cut this thing. It's actually been a really sick live stream. I've had a lot of fun. I don't know. I've had a long day. So I drove some kids to school, not my kids, drove some kids to school. And then I drove all the way to Winter Park, rode Winter Park with Jonathan Buckhouse, and then drove back, thought I was going to fall asleep. Got to hang out with Natalie for a little bit. And then I was like, live stream, let's go. And I just got super hyped. Probably because you guys are just we're all here, It's all dope. All right, scrolling back up just a little bit to make sure that I don't miss too many questions. Okay, moving on. Thiggest, that's actually kind of sick. Party Platter, War Pig, Twin Pig for park folks, all mountain boards. Oh, man, I wish Board Archive is the man when it comes to reviewing products. I am pretty narrow-minded when it comes to board. I find one board that I love, and I just stay with it for year after year after year after year, which is freaking insane because I I just like the way a certain board rides, and I know it and understand it, so I just don't try many boards. And then a lot of the boards that I've, like, done some demo days, like, tried some boards out, a lot of times I don't like them, and I don't wanna just come out here and just trash every snowboard because I don't like them, because that's just one dude's perspective about, like, a biased perspective. Because I like one style, and then if there's anything that doesn't, then I'm like, I don't know, I just don't wanna be that guy who's just like, because it's not doesn't fit my small thing that I like, then I don't wanna trash them. So, like I said, I've tried a couple of boards, I'm like, I'm gonna go back to my, like, comfort zone, which is kinda funny for sure. Da 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 da. Okay, it's getting some questions. Marcus says, "My dude." It actually says "my doors," but it autocorrected because it doesn't understand us. Come on, Apple, understand me, bro. If y'all need coaching, use his online program. I got it and stomped my frontside and backside 360 for the first time yesterday. No way. See, I was just talking about that, dude. Marcus, let's go. I'm so hyped, dude. Frontside and backside 360s because of those videos. And the thing about, like, what's different about the online course is I actually have a video of me doing this, and then I draw on the screen and I talk about it and I break it down more than I've ever broke anything down. So a lot of the how-to videos that I'm doing are super beneficial and super awesome, but I've taken that next step when it comes to online course because you're obviously, like, paying for that next level. Like, you can get a lot of content, and I put out a lot of free content, like, every single day. But if you're looking for that next step of, like, detail, the next step of homework, I actually give you homework. I actually give you, like, to-do lists so you go practice them at home while you're not snowboarding. And then I have a bunch of mindset training as, like, a free bonus in there. I have mindset training. So, Marcus, dude, that's so sick. I'm so hyped that you did it. Tommy is the best. Keep the content up, dude. I appreciate that. That's so freaking sick. All right. Bio Sniper Gaming. It would be dope to be one of your athletes. It's pretty fun, man. I'm hyped on the kids for sure. It's definitely it's been dope for sure. Like coaching and stuff. Like I really enjoy it. Okay, Kevin says, "How do I board side without falling backwards?" So couple like, I had this really good question on Instagram today, like, how do you do that? So, essentially, a couple things you gotta be aware of is if you already have high back angle or also known as forward lean, if you have forward lean and it's at let's just say it's at this much, and then your boot naturally rests on that. If you apply just a little bit of pressure here, then essentially your board is already gonna be lifting up, you're gonna slide back, so you have little room for error. So, me, specifically, I have 0 forward lean. So if my boot naturally sits a little bit forward, I have like this much range of motion without creating response, which means like, yeah, I may sacrifice a little bit of response, but I'm increasing my room for error so that I don't just get bodied on board sides. But when it comes to board sides, make sure your knees are slightly pushed over your toes so you're not creating that that like heel pressure or lifting up your toes. And then you want to make sure your belly button is in the center of your board. And my belly button naturally goes behind my edge. Ooh, done. Do a Mark Frank Montoya butter, please, for my boy. If you guys don't know who Mark Frank Montoya, also known as MFM, that dude does like back ones off the like 50-foot cliffs with no grads and just like super like gangster style. It's actually pretty sick. I need to do some. He's like super notorious for butters and stuff, so I need to get on that. Yeah, rip. Melissa and Annette are totally like gonna link up. This is why it's sick because if I can help you guys actually link up, would be sick. So that'd be dope. Scrolling down. Okay, can we get something unique other than an avocado in here in JB's channel? Okay, please, L Stackers, riddle me this. What is the avocado thing? I'm assuming it's like a. I thought it was like a Casey Willax because he has like avocado. His like brother owns this thing and it's like an avocado thing. But can you like hook a brother up? Kind of like let me know what the heck the deal is going on, because that'd be sick if I knew what was going on. Alrighty. Okay, Bernardo says, "How tight should boots and bindings feel?" Now, that's kind of a hard question to answer because it is going to be personal preference, to be honest. Because I personally like having a little bit of wiggle room. So I have my boots tied at about a 60% tightness, and then I have my bindings like ratcheted tight down as much as possible. but then I feel secure to my board while having a little bit of wiggle room. So that's definitely going to be like personal preference. We got a whole bunch of emojis in here with a whole bunch of, we got burritos, we got, obviously we got, I got pizza, dude, let's go. You guys are making me hungry. Okay, and we got like a frying pan flipping some eggs. Let's go. What else we got in here? All right, guys. So I am gonna end this in a couple minutes, but I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of a heads up. I'm gonna be rolling out soon, but not quite yet. Somebody just chirped in. Who was that? Coglio knows is the avocado is a Casey thing. That's what I thought. Like his brother has a whole like avocado drink thing, so I assumed that was it. But I just wanted to make sure. I think I'm in the loop, but am I really? That's the question. Okay. Okay, what else? Hi, let's see. Okay, hey Tommy, what would it take to be one of your athletes? It would be dope. DM me on Instagram. Really, right now, as far as athletes, I only accept between the ages of 13 and 18 because it's kind of like the contract that I have signed with certain places. So I don't actually do any private lessons with anybody that's not a competitive athlete. So just kind of just BT dub. That's something that I want to be able to do and facilitate. Since I cannot do anything in person, I have created an online snowboard course where you can get a whole bunch of knowledge. There's a whole bunch of bonuses in there as well. And then you can actually send me feedback, or sorry, I send you feedback. You send me a video, and then I'm going to send you specific feedback that's caters to you and what you just did. And so that's like what I'm able to offer right now as far as lessons. So if you're not a competitive athlete, then I'm kind of hands tied at the moment unless you're doing the online snowboard course. So I know I get hit up all the time about doing private lessons, and I really wish I could. It's just one of those things where my hands are tied right now. Maybe in the future it would actually be really sick. That would be. I got some big plans in the future. I just gotta make it work. Okay, so we got Elias says, how do snowboard faster? I'm trying to beat my friends in race. LOL. I think like I actually have a video this week on how to go faster and be in control. So obviously it's about going fast and being in control is the video that I'm doing, but I want to make sure that if you're doing that, a couple of things is making sure that you're in a strong position, and that's something I talk about in the video. Making sure your lead shoulder is stacked in the center of your board as you're going fast. So if you need to make a toe side turn, all you gotta do is this. You want to make a heel side turn, you're in a body position that's gonna allow it. Make sure you're getting low, and then fear. If you're able to go faster, but you're confident that you can stop, it's gonna allow you to go a little faster. If you're okay, here's a great example. Cruising down the highway, going 100 miles an hour, perfect sunny, perfect day. I know I can stop. But am I going to go 100 miles an hour on a windy road, on an icy, windy road? Well, then my chances of stopping are going to be way smaller. The danger is increased so much. So conditions, can you stop? Can you not? Are definitely some things that play a big part. Stefan says, FMF is style. Dude, that guy's sick. Leo says, I've been sharing the links as much as possible. I just deleted Facebook, but sending this stuff through old school text messages. TB is the nerd for sure. What's up, dude? Yeah, I appreciate that. The nerd is not a bad thing. That's for sure. And then Elias says, oh, shoot, thanks for answering my. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just a little bit behind in the chat, but it's all good. So stoked to help you out. But check out that video Friday dropping at 4:30. It's going to be sick. Okay, David B says, how do I get hyped enough to spin my first 360? Fear is holding me back. What I would do is go back to my backside 360 how-to video and follow those steps. Essentially, I teach you how to do it a little bit on the ground because my goal is not to get you hyped to go do a 360. My goal is to break down so many steps that the 360 naturally shows up there. Like that's literally what that backside 360 how-to video is on YouTube 3 weeks ago, I believe it was. But if I can get you to do like backside 180 and then you skirt around the next 180, do a backside 270, skirt around the last 90, then do a backside 360 on the ground, and then now all of a sudden it's like, oh, that was easy because I've done most of the trick already. That's like my plan for you. So go check out that video. If you're still struggling, let me know. Chuck sees heads down. Chuck Van says, hey Tommy, after no snowboarding for 6 months, lost all my flat ground ollies. Any tips for getting them back? I'm on a slightly bigger board now, and stance width could be an issue, question mark. So what I would definitely recommend is understanding your body positions, and we've talked about this before, but make sure that you're shifting your weight back and you're really retracting your lead knee. And if you have too wide of a stance, yeah, it's going to be like a sumo wrestler. If your stance is too wide, you're going to lose your ability to like retract your knees and then push off. So I would like check your stance, but I would really try to work on retracting your knee. The other thing is you want to time check, you want to time your ollie right. So you actually want to go 1, 2, where a lot of people are trying to do like it really fast, almost simultaneously. It's kind of like an ollie like this. You actually want to give your lead foot time to build that pressure to pop off. Another thing that you got to consider is where do you pop from? Some boards require you to pop. If this is the back binding, 2 bindings, back binding. Sometimes you want to pop just outside the back of your binding, but some boards require you to pop out further. So if you have a very soft board, if you pop off the tip of your board, essentially you're going to slip out because it's not rigid enough. So you may need to move your point of where you're popping from to your bindings because it has enough support and can create pressure. But if you have a stiff or big board, you want to create pressure at the end of your board, more at the end of your board. So if you're having a stiffer, bigger board, you want to create the pop at the end of your board, and you do that by retracting your knee more and then delay that second foot coming up. So, nerd, got you, my dude. All right, I'm gonna answer a couple more questions, and I am getting tired, but I'm also super hyped. So we're almost down to the last questions, my dude. And then a couple of you guys said that, yeah, dude, we're at 9.7K on YouTube. It literally blows my mind. And I think honestly, like Jonathan Buckhouse gave me like a quite a few shout outs and it really like boosted my engagement and got people here. And then being able to post consistently. And one of the things that I've noticed from YouTube or Instagram on like kind of going and creating something and trying to do something bigger is once you get momentum, you got to keep that momentum going. So as somebody like Jonathan Buckhouse gives me a bunch of like attention and people are getting hyped, like you guys are getting hyped on the content, well, I got to keep that momentum. So that's why I do a live stream. And that's why I do weekly videos because I know I have to utilize this time. I need it. You guys want the content. You know, if I just posted once a month, you guys would be like, cool. And then you'd forget about me. So if I can keep the momentum and keep the content coming, and that's really why I think like I've been able to like kind of grow fast is because I've kept that momentum and I'm putting content out there. And obviously, you guys are digging the content, and that helps the algorithm if you guys dig the content. So anytime you guys see the video, give it a thumbs up. But that definitely helps the algorithm. So I'm super hyped on all that. But it's pretty insane. Almost at 10K on YouTube blows my mind. And obviously on YouTube, you guys have to invest time with me. Like Instagram's like quick and easy. It's instant. YouTube's like you're watching me for like 15 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's pretty wild. Let's see. Hey, Tommy, are you doing a half pipe tutorial? Any half pipe tutorial video anytime soon? Honestly, I need to. I haven't done yet, to be honest. I want to do one. I actually am waiting for a couple of my friends that are like insanely good at YouTube at half pipe to do some videos with me. So I'm waiting for those cats to get back in town, which they actually should be back in town now. Actually, so I'll hit them up, see what we can do. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna answer these last few questions and I'm gonna roll. Okay, do you think backside 360 or frontside 360 is easier to learn? Honestly, I'm gonna say they're both have their pros and cons. Now, pros of a frontside is as you take off, you can see what's going on, but then you finish blind. Backside, you go blind first and then you finish being able to see. So in the perspective of the sight, it can be one or the other. In addition to that, popping off your heels may be harder for you or popping off your toes might be harder for you. What I would do is go snowboard and do some flat ground 360s or flat ground 180s. And I would suggest doing either one, which is more intuitive. I learned backside first, but I know cats that do front sides a lot, but I would do what's intuitive. What I don't want to do is force you to spin in a direction that your body doesn't want to do. That's like actually a thing. Like your body's like, ew, this way feels weird. Then let's not have you put yourself in that position yet. Let's learn something the other way and start to understand how to spin. And then eventually next you want to be able to equal it out frontside and backside and be confident in both. But let's build your success. Let's build your confidence on the direction that feels natural. And then we go the other way. So food for thought on that. And then we got a freaking $2 dono, Midwest Shred Vlogs. Let's go. Loving your content, Tommy. Thank you. Man, I'm hyped that you're hyped on that. It's been super fun. So yeah, and then Rancid Nugget, funny name. So yeah, hope that answers your question. So I do have a backside 360 video that on YouTube. If you're looking for backside 360, I have not done a frontside 360. What am I thinking? I need to do a frontside 360 video, but I do have a bunch of Instagram frontside 360 stuff, so I can hook you up there if you want to do that. So make sure you go scope out the Instagram. If you're looking for a frontside 360 tutorial, hit me up on the gram. Tell me you came from the live stream, and then I'll prioritize that and hook you up. Midwest, appreciate you, dude. $2 dono coming in heavy. All right, so I'm gonna answer. Let's see, Thomas, I'm gonna answer your question. Michael, I'm gonna answer your question, and then I'm gonna call it. You guys are amazing. So let's get these going, and then we are out of here. Okay, any tips for backside seven? Backside seven, you gotta wind up your shoulders. So you actually have to wind up through your spine. So you're opening it. You're opening your spine, and then you're throwing. That's number one. The second thing is you got to look over your shoulder and go in the direction you're going. After you look over your shoulder, you have to complete the first 360, and then essentially you're repeating that same movement where you look and spot that landing again with your head. So if you want to hit me up on the gram, I have a backside 720 video that actually freaking popped off, which is pretty crazy, on Instagram. So if you want, I do a deep like explanation breakdown of a backside seven, and I'm a regular rider, so you can see it in fast speed and in slow mo. So hit me up on the gram for the backside seven breakdown. Okay, and then let's see, Tomas, sorry. You guys should definitely check out Big Sky Montana. It's awesome up there, dude. I really need to, man. I really have never done that. And then Martin A says you just got here, dude. Let's go for another 60 minutes, dude. I don't think I have that, man. I don't think I have 60 minutes in me. I appreciate you being out here. If you want, go back to the beginning. There's a whole bunch of sick questions that I did answer. I'm bummed that you just got here, but I'm stoked you're here. So I don't know. All right, guys. So we're gonna end that there. I like to do these for about an hour. There's a whole bunch of you guys still here, so I wanted to say thank you, guys. You are amazing. If you guys want any of the content that I've talked about throughout this video, got a couple options for you. Down below in the description, I do have a couple. Like I have a free trick guide that you guys can download, and then I got some merch and some Killing It stickers, and then I got like my snowboard course. So all that's gonna be in there. And then if you guys want, if I yeah, hit me up on Instagram. I'm kind of falling behind, and that's why I'm doing these live chats to make sure I'm getting your guys' questions answered. But with those said, if you got any questions about anything we've talked about, make sure you let me know that you're from the YouTube, and then I can just like copy and paste and stuff, or be able to answer your guys' question, like copy a link from like a Instagram breakdown or something like that kind of thing, so I can be able to like help you guys out. I don't copy and paste answers. I copy and paste like breakdowns. Is what I'm saying. All right, guys, you guys are amazing. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you guys so much for all the donations. You guys are insane. Later, David B, L Stackers, Michael, Ranch and Nugget, and then thanks again to Midwest Shred Blogs, Melissa coming in heavy with a $20, Leo C coming in heavy, and you guys are all freaking awesome. I hope I haven't missed too much. We got Abby in here, and then Aaron Snowboards. All you guys are freaking, and then Carrie, I appreciate that. I saw you with the DM. So, all right, guys, we are out of here. And as always, my favorite part is trying to figure out how to end this thing without looking like a kook. But who knows? All right, peace out, guys.